and welcome back to My Artist Friend, the podcast about the artist behind the art. I am your host, Becky Helms, and today we are just going to have a little chat. We're going to have a little personal catch-up time with me because it is spring break for us, and I don't have a lot of mental bandwidth for a lot of in-depth work things. So as I talked about before, I'm going to try and do interviews once a month, and then you'll have 3 little chats with me about random little things about creativity, being an artist, and all that. So today we are chatting about some personal projects that I'm working on. I am going to take you through our current house projects, which is always exciting. I'm going to take you through a few craft projects that I'm working on at the moment, and then some work projects, just a couple of work projects. And I'm really excited about one of them, and I hope you stick around to hear about it. If you were someone who followed my shop before, you might be interested. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so I hope you enjoy a chatty catch-up episode. I know I love them from other people, so I figured why don't I do one? Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, first up is house projects. So we bought this house, our little 1966 mid-century quirky girl. We got her about a year and a half ago. Summer marks 2 years. We're not quite there yet. And I thought I would be able to do a lot more quickly. But I don't want to discount the stuff that I did do. If you listen to my episode with Taylor, a couple episodes back, she helped me to she's like, I was bemoaning the fact that I didn't get anything else done. And she was like, girl, you did so much. So I have to kind of keep that in perspective. We put up track shelving in our living room. We put up track shelving in our kind of family room where we keep our library. I painted some, but right now we are in the middle of a dining room renovation. So picture this. I took video. I'll put up a whole reel at some point. But we have our dining room, right? It's like, our main floor is you walk in, there's a living room. Further beyond that, you walk, there's the dining room. And then to the right, to the left is the kitchen. So it's basically a big box where the living room takes up the whole space, and then behind it, there's kitchen and dining room. Anyway, dining room is a little box, and the people before us had put up this crown molding fluorescent light situation, which I'm really happy that it worked for them and they liked it. I am not a fan of crown molding at all. I mean, I love it in a house where it's appropriate. But in general, in a mid-century, I'm not a crown molding girly. And this was a lot of crown molding. It came down about 1 foot from the ceiling, and then nested inside of the crown molding were a bunch of fluorescent lights. And, it made the space really bright. It made for a really good puzzle table because there wasn't any direct light, But it really enclosed the space, made it feel small. And so in January, Andy and I decided to tear it down. We did the demo, and now we're at the point where I need to fill the holes, paint, and pick a light fixture. We need to get up into the attic to see about, because we have some little wires coming down from the ceiling right now. And we do need to get an electrician in to hang a light fixture. Picking a light fixture is like the most exciting part of it right now for me. I want to do like a big Sputnik situation, If you want to follow me on Pinterest, I have a little board that is just kind of my absolute brain dump, no filter house board. It's called Cozy Mid-Century Home. And you can see all the little stuff that I have been saving, mostly just for vibes, And I also have a board that is cute home decor. So that's just like extra little home decor stuff that catches my eye on Pinterest. But I've been spending a lot of time trying to find inspiration for lighting and dining rooms and, all kinds of stuff for the house. So it's fun to look at. And then sometimes I go back through it. I'm like, well, why did I pin that? Get it out of there. But it's fun. So that's kind of where we are with the dining room. There's still a lot of like little finishing touches to do, I am really good at starting a project. I love starting a project. I love planning a project. I love getting into the weeds in the beginning and seeing it working. But actually finishing said project is like clawing uphill. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we're so close. Like, all we have to do is we got all the spackle and everything that we need. We just need to fill the holes in paint, and then it'll look so much better. But getting to that point is difficult. So maybe during spring break, we can get some of that done. Ooh, we'll see. The next thing that's kind of on our radar for the house is a kitchen refresh. We don't really have the funds nor the time to get into a full-on kitchen renovation. But what we can do is kind of give it a facelift from what it is now. Our cabinets they're like an MDF with melamine on them, and it's very IKEA. It's not IKEA, it's a different brand, but it's like the same concept. It was like a modular thing that they just kind of picked and put in. The kitchen is huge. I love all of the drawers that we have. Like, it's laid out pretty well. We have two like pull out cutting boards, which is really cool. We have a little bread drawer with like this little metal thing for the bread. Lots of lazy Susans all over. The configuration is great. I love how much space I have in the kitchen for all of the things. But everything is beige. The cabinets are beige. The countertop is 4-inch tile, speckled beige. So it's light beige with darker speckles of the beige. And like even the grout is like gray. And I'm like, I hate beige, you guys. I have lived in apartments for so long and everything is browns and beige. And I just need color. I want bright whites. I want pinks. I want teals. I want yellows. I want anything. I want rich wood colors. Eventually someday when we completely redo the kitchen, ideally, we'll get some real wood in there. But for now, I really want to cover the beige so much. So I actually bothered my friend Rachel from The Crafted Life to see what she would think about painting, because she's done a lot of IKEA painting. She does a lot of really good primer stuff. You should check out all of the kind of IKEA hacks that she does. And I figured that would make the most sense for us. So we are just going to have to figure out when we're going to take the doors off and paint them when we have kittens in the house, because that is also going to be a whole thing. Is figuring out how to keep the cats out of all of the drawers if we're not just going to pack everything up, and just eat takeout for a few weeks or what. But the idea is that we will paint the cabinets. We might paint the walls again. When we moved in, we had the whole house painted like fresh white, and then we did blue in the kitchen. But we didn't really know what to do with the cabinets because of the material on them. So we just didn't mess with that at the time. So we're going to do that. We're going to get the paint. We're going to paint the stuff. It sounds so easy and it'll take no time at all, I'm sure. And then I want to figure out how to install a new countertop because I want pink laminate. I want pink laminate so bad. Like, yes, it would be wonderful to have some kind of stone countertop or whatever, but if you look on my Pinterest, looking at a pink kitchen, oh my God, they're so cute. Andy's on board. I'm not sure how much DIYing will happen with that because, obviously I have never installed a countertop. I don't even know what it all entails. So that's something we'll be looking into, but I don't know what timeline we have for all of this. And it's going to take way longer than we expect when we do get started. But the idea is to have a cute pink kitchen, and I'm excited about it. And speaking of pink rooms, I want to get the office taken care of this summer at least. at least by the end of the year, because this has been a really fun place to record. I like having my own space, but it is a hot mess. This room has turned into a real catch-all, and I want it to be more of a crafty room, guest room, office kind of thing. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see behind me the hot mess, but also this little dresser situation is actually a bed. It's like a Murphy bed, and I do want to replace that because it comes out, it's like it's supposed to look like a chest of drawers, and there's like a little Murphy bed thing that folds up into, it's like a trifold, but it comes out like quite a bit from the wall, and this room isn't very big, so it's a presence. And it's, it doesn't look mid-century at all, and I really want to stick to the mid-century vibes of the house. And so I want to do another Murphy bed situation in here. So that's going to be kind of, I need to kind of determine the layout, because I don't know if you remember, but we have floorboard heaters too, which are the bane of my existence, because I don't know, I can't put, lots of big furniture in front of them. So all of my ideas for built-ins are just out the window. But yeah, I think getting the layout figured out, getting a new Murphy bed, and then I want to install some sort of built-in, it's not going to go all the way to the ground, but get a nice desk, paint everything pink, get some shelves in here, because I don't have any of my stuff, any of my cutie things in here right now. And I want to be surrounded by all of the little things that inspire me. I want it to be pink and cheerful and cozy in here while I work. So that's kind of our current plan. I think probably for the year/2 years. Dining room renovation, I want to get done quickly. I think we can get that done. The biggest outlier is how long it'll take a electrician to get here and picking out a light fixture. That's really not so bad. And then we've got the kitchen refresh, which is going to be a huge project, and my office, which is also going to be a huge project. But we'll see. I'm excited. That's what's going on in my head in terms of the house right now. So a little smaller scale, we have craft projects that I am currently working on. So right now I am doing a super secret quilting project for Libby, and her birthday is coming up, and I need to get it shipped out now. So honestly, today I'm going to be sewing my little fingers off, trying to figure it out, because again, it took, say it with me, longer than expected. The story of my life. But I'm excited. I've been taking pictures all throughout. So once it is shipped and she gets them, then I will share this project with you, because it's really cute. I'm really happy with it. And I definitely did it the hard way, but I love how they turned out. It's very cute. Okay, anyway, blah, blah, blah. I can't even tell you about it. So why am I talking so much about it? All right. So I wanted to talk about snart ideas for the spring break. Spring break is all over the place. I know folks in Texas have already had it. We're doing it now. But in terms of snart for us, the theme this month is photography. And so Andy got me a Polaroid, and it's one of the new ones. So I have that charging, which feels wild to say I've got a Polaroid charging. But we've got a bunch of film for it. So we are going to go out on a nature walk and take some fun photos with that. And then I also want to go to, we have a camera store in town, and I want to see if they have any disposable cameras. Our Meyer was out, and I would just really like to get one for me and for Emmett and have a little 35mm moment. You know what I mean? We dug into our old cameras, and I'm not sure any of our manual cameras still work. I believe some of them might be a little bit rusty. So I was talking to Andy about it, and we were like, you know what, we'll just get some disposable ones. And I think that'll be the way to go in terms of our kind of manual camera moment for Snart this month. And that's fine. I think, I always used to grab one before we go to a show or something, and I always had a little disposable camera on me. So hopefully our camera store has them, And if not, it'll be a fun trip. So Emmett can see all the cool stuff at a camera store. And then I can ogle all the cameras that I can't afford. It'll be great. All right, the last craft project that's kind of on my radar right now that I just really, it's bugging me in the back of my head is basting my dang Halloween and Christmas quilts. Okay, so you know how my Christmas quilt took way longer than expected to finish the top. So I have the tops for the Halloween one is right behind me on top of said giant Murphy bed dresser thing. And the Christmas quilt is downstairs. But I have the batting for both. I have the backing fabric for both. I just need to put them together, and it's just been bugging me. It's like I really want them. I just really want them finished. So that is going to be kind of a big goal. It's probably going to take me a couple of months. I need to be realistic because I like to hand sew the binding because I'm crazy. I don't know. But I'd rather have them like sitting in a closet, all put together instead of being all in like lots of pieces across the house. So hopefully I will get that done. That's my last like big crafty project that I really want to get done soon. Okay, now last bit is work projects. I just have two big things right now because I am not getting paid for any of the work I've been doing for the last few months. So the two things are going to basically center around maybe figuring out how to get paid for this. So number one is I would like to get some Substack paid subscribers. Right now, it's set up where you can absolutely subscribe $5 a month, $50 a year, things like that. But it is everything I put out on Substack is free. So if you get my newsletter, it's hosted on Substack. Same with my podcast. Everything's hosted there. So you don't even need to go there, honestly, if you're listening on Apple or if you're watching on YouTube or if you just read the emails that you get, you don't really have to interact with Substack. Substack does make it possible for you to make money off of a newsletter. So I can technically hide content and only have it available for paid subscribers. And I would like to have something that people would like to pay me for on Substack. I've mentioned it a couple of times at the end of podcast episodes recently, but my podcast itself and my Friday newsletter will always be free. Like that's just something I want to do. I want to have that stuff always be available and accessible. I've always liked blogging and I always send out newsletters with my shop and everything. So all that stuff is just free. But I'm trying to think of something I could offer that people might be interested in. So you can do live video on Substack. So maybe I could do like a monthly AMA, ask me anything live video, which could be interesting, and only paid subscribers could have access to that and ask me questions about, business, work, whatever. Maybe I could do a bi-weekly newsletter, like an extra newsletter that maybe is a little bit more personal. Maybe it's a few more musings, but only paid subscribers would have access to that. Maybe I could do like little quick audio pep talks once a week or a couple times a week because Substack lets you do just little audio recordings. Those could be available. I love giving pep talks to folks. It could be about, helping you kind of break through some difficult situations, help with limiting beliefs around business, creativity, whatever. I love a little pep talk. My friend and mentor, Megan King, had a special podcast feed of little pep talks. So it's like, when you're feeling overwhelmed, listen to this one. And those were so good. Oh my gosh. I love them. I would go back to them over and over and over again. So I thought that might be a fun idea to do for people who like have a shop or just creative people in general. But yeah, let me know what you think. I might just have to try a couple of things and see what sticks, see what's fun for me. I don't want to add too much work onto my plate because I am still stay-at-home mom first and foremost. But yeah, it would be nice to try and grow a little Substack. Once I really start it, I want to kind of set a goal for myself for like a certain number of subscribers and an X number of time, you know what I mean, to kind of help me go for it a little bit more. But something I'm mulling over is a work project that is in the very front burner right now. And the second work project that I've been working on for a little while that I am super excited about is I think I'm going to be opening my shop again, but only with print on demand stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I really like making products, but I don't want to manage shipping. I don't want to manage inventory. And I want to have very minimal customer service situation. You know what I mean? Like, we're still keeping it minimal over here because, again, stay-at-home mom first and foremost. But I miss having things to sell. I miss talking about funny cat things. So what I've done is I've started working in my Shopify store again, and I hooked it up with Printful. And if anyone wants me to kind of go through my process and what I'm doing with that, I'm happy to go into detail about it, maybe in another podcast or just in a post, something like that. So I'm really excited to get that started. It's going to be mostly apparel and maybe some glassware, maybe some just little things that I think make sense with the designs that we have, mugs, stuff like that. But it's nice because it's print on demand. They're only making one product at a time. They're sending it directly to you. So I don't have to make a whole bunch of inventory, have a whole bunch of stuff sitting around. I don't have to ship it. Like, full disclosure, everything will be shipped by someone else. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. So far, I've only made one hoodie with a gnome wizard on it. So it'll be a lot of the same designs that you might remember from my store. I want to kind of repurpose into apparel and mugs and things, plus some new stuff. So it's not just going to be old designs. I want there to be new things. And Andy has been pretty excited about it too and wants to make some new designs for shirts too. So I'm really excited to see what he does for that. But yeah, I'm kind of aiming for May to open it up, kind of to celebrate kind of the 2-year mark of closing my original shop and then kind of opening this new iteration. So that is what's on my plate right now in terms of work projects. So thank you for letting me ramble a little bit today. There's a lot on my plate, but a lot of it is very creatively fulfilling. It's a lot of fun. It's, making our home a cozier space that's more like us. It's keeping up my creativity and my crafting, being intentional with that time, and maybe bringing in some more income so I can do more house projects more quickly. So yes, thank you for listening. I always appreciate your time. Be sure to hang out with me on Instagram. I am at the Becky Helms over there. Also, I'll put a link to my Pinterest because I mentioned that for house stuff. It's always a fun time on Pinterest over there. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. You're amazing. I love you. And I will talk to you next week. Okay, bye.